Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from Smoke. The United States will finally have a regulatory framework for digital assets and stablecoins within 180 days. That puts us around July. Now, this happened today, and this comes directly from the Federal Reserve. ISO 222 implementation rescheduled to July 14th for the Fedwire Fund Service. This has to do with ISO as well. Take action. Share the information with your operational and technical staff along with your software vendor and/or processor. Urgently review the entire wire ecosystem and ensure it is ready to continue to process FAIM formatted messages on and after March 10th and for the ISO 222 implementation on July 14th. Use this additional time to continue testing in the depository institution testing environment and with your peers. Learn more about the new ISO implementation date in the coming days. So it looks like the ISO part of FedNow is delayed until July 14th. That aligns with crypto regulations in July as well. And maybe that is why it got delayed. FedNow, however, is still set for March 10th. And FedNow is not a CBDC. I need to stress that. People think right away that's a central bank digital currency. It is a real-time payment system. That's what it is. There's also a lot of talk about SWIFT and ISO. As for SWIFT, the coexistence period between the existing MT messaging and ISO might end on November 22nd, 2025. For cross-border bank-to-bank payment instructions, means all SWIFT members are expected to switch to ISO by above said date. That's still on track for November of this year. And I don't think that's going to get delayed. That got delayed in the past. And the BIS said no more delays going forward. And the Bank of International Settlement is the bank of all central banks. They're still on track. They don't even care if SWIFT is ready or not. They're ready to push forward. Now, a lot of people keep talking about domestic payments and FedNow. This is the FedNow roadmap for cross-border payments. This was back in 2023. Take a listen to what they said about domestic payments and ISO.
Our focus right now is on domestic adoption. You need to have a network domestically for cross-border payments in order to be useful at all. So that's why we need our top priority is to make sure that we support that adoption in the U.S. while we also look ahead in terms of where we might be 2-3 years from now, whenever as it relates to cross-border payments. Now, one of the things that we have done is in preparing for that. So I talked about ISO 2022. Yeah. We made sure that that this message standard for FedNow, we collaborated with our colleagues across the world, and we made sure that as we adopted the ISO standard, we did it in such a way that it's not going to be a barrier to when we might transition into cross-border payments.
But what was still holding them back in 2023? Regulations. Take a listen.
Know that cross-border is not a technology problem, right? There are a lot of considerations to think about when it comes to legal compliance, AML. So there's a lot to do there to make sure that however we do it, when we do it, if we do it, that we're going to do it right.
And that's what we are still waiting on still today. Regulations to be put in place. And the Fed, they're still trying to onboard these banks as well. They didn't mandate it, so some of these banks just aren't doing it. But there's a lot of talk about domestic payments once again. Even central banks like the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve, and the Saudi Arabia Monetary Authority had collaboration with Ripple connected to domestic payments updating. People keep thinking that Ripple and XRP cannot be used for domestic payments. But even David Schwartz said, we need to fix the much bigger problem, which is cross-border payments. Domestic payments is easy to Ripple. If you master cross-border payments, domestic payments are nothing for Ripple to handle. And why would Ripple not handle domestic payments? Ripple confirms approval in 31 U.S. states for money transmitter licenses. With 31 money transfer licenses across the U.S., and now they even have New York and Texas as well, it's setting the stage. Ripple's global reach extends to Singapore with a rare regulatory green light in June as well. So why would they have all these money transmitter licenses if they didn't see RippleNet being utilized domestically in the United States? It makes no sense. That's why I said, anybody who's trying to convince you that XRP isn't going to be part of FedNow and part of domestic payments here in the US, they're just totally wrong. What about XRP not being ISO compliant? XRP is not directly compliant with ISO, but Ripple, the network that issues XRP, has taken steps to align XRP with the standard. So XRP is going to be part of ISO 222. Same thing with HBAR, XDC, XLM, Algo, ADA, QNT, XDC, if I didn't mention it. But that's what's going on. This is the next big thing. That's the new financial system building out in real time. But there's always FUD around this. People want you to believe this is not a very big deal, but it is a very big deal. And most of the time, this information comes from Bitcoin maxis. Why? Because they know once this system goes live, Bitcoin is irrelevant. Here comes the boom. Global stablecoin use soars. Will Trump crypto policy prompt U.S. adoption? We already know that the U.S. is going to go very big around stablecoins. We're not going to have a central bank digital currency issued by the Fed. Instead, we're going to have a private stablecoin like RLUSD or USDC. That's the path we're on. And I think once the United States goes down this path, I think other countries are going to just get rid of the whole idea of a central bank digital currency. And they're just going to start utilizing stablecoins as well. This doesn't mean that XRP is dead. XRP can work with the current financial system. It can fix it. It works with fiat. The only difference between a stablecoin and a central bank digital currency is who issues it. We are going to have digital money in the United States. Metrics reveal Ripple's newly minted stablecoin, RLUSD, has eclipsed the $100 million threshold mere weeks after its mid-December 2024 debut. So it looks like RLUSD is already gaining a lot of traction. I still don't think we're seeing any of that value in the price of XRP yet. I do believe we will see that over time. And that's when we're going to see this utilized in the US. I think that's the whole reason that Ripple was meeting with Trump in the first place. Agenda 2030 only happens in a cashless economy. I want to talk about this for a minute because everybody right away now says we're not moving into a cashless society because Trump said there's not going to be a central bank digital currency. But even if we utilize a stablecoin in the United States, you're going to have parallel systems. You're going to have people that are using the digital system, and most people use that already through debit cards and credit cards and so on. But cashless society, I don't think a lot of people fully understand that yet. if we went to a cashless society, that means cash is gone and it's not coming back. So if you're going to go into a cashless society, it closes the door on an escape route. In other words, right now, if you have a digital currency and a cashless and still cash around, you can opt out of the digital system altogether if you have cash. Once cash is gone, there's no opting out. However, I still believe there's going to be another rail, a crypto rail. And anybody that has a lot of money or got rich off of crypto, they will be utilizing that rail instead of the rail set up by the US government, because the government is going to be setting up a stablecoin rail that people are going to use. Same way that you would utilize a central bank digital currency. It's just an RLUSD rail or a USDC rail. I'm hoping I make sense of all of this for all of you. There's no difference. It's just who issues the central bank digital currency. Stablecoin is no different than a Fed coin or a US government coin. It's just coming from Ripple instead. But I wanted to touch on cashless society because that's being talked about more now, once again, because people are starting to understand that a stablecoin is still looked at as a central bank digital currency. So the narrative is returning once again, is what I'm saying. And once we heard about the SEC noticing an XRP ETF coming from Grayscale, all of a sudden, a lot of XRP started to move around. 90 million XRP transferred from unknown wallet to unknown wallet. 300 million XRP transferred from Ripple to unknown wallet. Where is this XRP going? Nobody really knows. There's a lot of speculation on it. Some people are saying it's to pay the SEC fine. The case is over. Other people are saying it's an acquisition that Ripple might be making in the background. But nobody knows where this XRP went yet. I'm sure over the coming days we will find out where that XRP went. But I wanted to touch on that ISO announcement coming from the Fed, because this just delays the ISO part of it. Later, this will also be tied in. ISO is going to happen. And if you position yourself in the right way and you're buying and diversifying throughout ISO 222 cryptocurrencies, you can get financial freedom from this. I stress that because this is a big deal. Don't listen to the FUD. Stay focused. There's a reason that there's only a handful of compliant cryptocurrencies out there, because they're going to be part of the new financial system. And when I talked about cashless society, I wanted to touch on that because that narrative's coming back. Under Trump, I think we're going to have cash around until at least 2028. Where we go after Trump is gone at the White House, nobody knows for sure yet. I mean, we could get somebody in there that pushes forward with the Great Reset and undoes everything that Trump's been doing so far. We've seen it happen with Biden back in 2021. Let's hope we don't go down that road again. Hopefully, going forward, we get pro-crypto presidents here on out, because that is what pushes innovation in the United States. I'm expecting such a surge around crypto that crypto is going to take a very tight hold on the United States going forward. But no matter how you look at this, us as XRP investors, we are going to get very rich when all of this happens. But until it does happen, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.